So therefore, this is going to attract new people into the ecosystem who want to get ETH for yield. So you've got a demand shock. Also, the lack of the ESG restrictions that people have with Bitcoin, falsely so, but I understand that that's the mandate people have got. So you've got people who are frustrated who wanted to invest but couldn't because of ESG and Bitcoin. The ETH merge, they're waiting for it to happen. ETH now has a yield. A lot of institutions don't own gold because it doesn't have a yield. So you've got this technology asset that represents a big, exciting future with a yield, with a limited supply. We're going into a recession. It's clear there's going to be another leg down in equities because they need to price in the recession.
Hello and welcome to Wealthy Value. In today's video, Real Vision CEO and macro expert Raoul Pal updates about his views on cryptocurrency market, recession, and global economic crisis going on in 2022. Raoul also speaks about Bitcoin's potential bottom and why he thinks it is already in, along with his thoughts on new Bitcoin rally leading to a huge price explosion. Make sure to stick around till the end of this video where Raoul Pal reveals his perspective on the Ethereum merge and its potential benefits. Raoul also weighs in the possibility of going all in Solana. If you like the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the post notifications. Let's dive right into the video.
That's assuming that everything operates in real time, but it doesn't. So when I look at the year-on-year rate of change of, let's say, the NASDAQ, and compare it to the ISM index, which is my guide to the business cycle, the Institute of Supply Managers survey, it suggests that the ISM survey, the NASDAQ is pricing in ISM at around 40. ISM at 40 is relatively deep recession. ISM at 47 is usually a recession level, and 40 is something, to the order of magnitude of kind of negative 2% GDP growth. So it's already priced in. The S&P is similar. Things like copper are close, oil less so, but coming down over time in line with the business cycle. The exponential age stock, so the long end of technology, the ARK style investments, they priced an even deeper recession. So they got down to about 35 in the ISM, which was very, very low. So I think the market's discounted this already mainly, and that the low potentially is in, because what will be happening in 12 months' time? In 12 months' time, we will have seen a recession and we will likely be coming out of it. Whether we're fully out of it or not, doesn't matter. A recession at some point in the future means that the Federal Reserve will stop hiking and will stop shrinking the balance sheet. And they will probably go towards cutting. In the future, in 12 months' time, the probability of inflation being, at 8% is extremely low because of the year-on-year computational differences and the fact that oil, copper, freight rates, everything has come down massively. So I'm thinking that there is a probability that inflation goes negative within 18 months. So if we look out 12 months, the recession is behind us, rates are lower, and inflation is low. Okay, so that is a very good outcome for risk assets and crypto to start investing, adding to my positions. I never sold anything. So I'm thinking the markets are forward looking. I think the sentiment is extremely bearish, and we're going into a potential change in the macro. Does it happen this month, next month? Don't really care. Then we've got the ETH merge, which we all know about. I don't think it brings fireworks. Maybe it does. Maybe there's a big sell-off after it, big sell-off beforehand. I don't really know. And again, I don't really care. What I do know is that post-merge, a few things happen. There are no miners to sell every day. That's about 6 billion that just disappears from selling each month. Okay, so that's a difference. Then we've got the reduction in supply, But that's really driven by the increase in network activity. So we need to kind of see the network go up a lot for that to really kick in, it become deflationary, but it's less inflationary. So there's less ETH around, but then we've got this magic. The magic is you've just introduced yield into the ETH ecosystem. So that has a macro that's changing. That to me suggests the next 12 months probably very, very good for digital assets. So that's at the basic level. And then I'm trying to think through, okay, in a new world where ETH is this very important asset, it's still going to have problems. It's still going to be expensive, and it's still going to be slow. So as adoption keeps building, a lot of adoption spills outside of the ETH into the Solana, Avalanche, and a bunch of other protocols as well. So I think we're going to see ETH lead the charge, and then we'll see this tail of stuff starting to come as we start a new bull market. And generally things work that way. So I think a lot of these layer ones this time around will be like ETH in the last cycle. They'll end up becoming very large dominant change. Which ones? Don't really know. My bet's really on Solana, but it could be any of these, and I'm kind of indifferent right now. Solana's, as I said, I got more allocated towards that than I have to some of the others, but I'm watching them and waiting to see. I've had also technically a perfect monthly, daily, weekly DMARC setup in the Solana ETH cross. Now, I'm not yet ready to make the bet that I would switch my ETH into Solana, but I have some. But I'm observing that to say, let's see if that plays out, because that will be a narrative that people don't really expect. And I'm not saying that Solana becomes bigger than ETH or anything of that sort. I'm just saying, could it outperform in this cycle? So I think we're at the new cycle point. The logarithmic chart, we've got the perfect setup. Is it today? Is the low in? I would give it an 80% probability, but there's a 20% chance it's not. So I'm very focused right now on watching the price structure. And the final thing to give you is the big one for me is ETH breaking about the 2000 level. That will give us an inverted head and shoulders low. And also there's a downtrend from the high, and it would have then broken a wedge pattern to the upside. And that would be the start of the run to new highs whenever that occurs. So that was a lot of information in a short period of time.
Well, Raoul, exactly that. You've just given us the sort of 50,000-foot, 10-minute thumbnail sketch about the intersection between macro and crypto, something that we think about a lot at Real Vision. Let's talk a little bit about what we're doing here in this conversation, because this is something new for us.
Hold on, I'm going to interrupt. Guys, if you're watching this, just hit the like button because it helps our algorithm. We're trying to build the volume on this channel because we want to get some really important information out here. So hit the like button and also hit the subscribe button. And I will beg you again a few times. I'm not too proud to beg. Sorry, Ash, I interrupted.
Well, that's exactly right, Raoul. We're talking about building this network within Real Vision, internally, obviously, on our crypto channel, but also expanding our reach onto YouTube, doing these conversations, figuring out ways of bringing out more information to more people. You just gave this 50,000-foot intersection sketch of what's happening in macro and crypto, which is something that you're probably not going to get a whole lot of other places outside of Real Vision, unless you're fortunate enough to work at a crypto hedge fund. Talk a little bit about what we're doing here, what the philosophy is, and why it's so important.
I have, since I first discovered Bitcoin in 2013, been of the opinion that this was a parallel financial system that's being built. In the last 18 months, I've realized that it's bigger than just a financial system. It's in fact the entire system of value, transfer, storage, and ownership in a new digital world. It is probably one of the biggest things I've ever heard of or seen. Deglobalization, the globalization, all the mess that caused. All of that is going on in macro land, which is pretty miserable. And here's the solution in front of our eyes. I mean, what a time to be alive. And that's why it's so important. Everybody needs to understand this stuff. Whether you're trading this stuff, building businesses, or you're just observing it, it is incredibly, incredibly important.
Yeah, and then we should say, of course, during the industrialization of the Western Hemisphere, there, of course, was considerable risk in speculating in those oil stocks. But the idea here, what we're talking about is sort of doing this broad-based education, trying to explain everything that's happening. And it's a journey that you and I are going on together, understanding this, and with our subscribers, trying to figure out all of the things that are happening. You talked about the merge. You talked about the context broadly, what's happening in the macro sphere. These are obviously incredibly complex types of topics that we're unpacking here. We're bringing in experts on the platform on Real Vision Crypto right now. By the way, if you're interested in subscribing to Real Vision Crypto, you can go down to the description of this conversation and click there. But bringing this out and really trying to figure out ways of bringing this outside onto YouTube to expand the conversation, something that I know you're passionate about. Give us some of your thoughts about why we're doing these AMAs, Raoul.
Because firstly, we're all learning together, as you made the point.
Definitely.
And none of us know the answers. So if we all learn together and we all learn at the same speed, that's just nice. It's nice to have a community. It's nice to have questions, people to ask. I don't know everything. Far from it. There's a load of things I'll be dead wrong on. Some things I'll miss entirely. It's not my job. My job is to set everybody in the right course. And let's figure out. That's why I speak to people like Yatsui about what he's seeing, or I just got off the phone with John Wu from Avalanche, and I spoke to Anatoly from Solana, and I'm so privileged.
So, do you think the Bitcoin bottom is already in or not? Tell us in the comments. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you soon with the next video. Thank you so much for watching.